Hey single ladies, I am coming back with another video. Hopefully it will help you continue to grow your financial mindset and reach your financial goals. Okay, so jumping right into it. This particular video is 7 things we're keeping private in 2025 money edition. I know. What we're keeping private in 2025. And it sounds like, please don't get it misconstrued. Like, there's a fine line between gatekeeping and self-preservation. And as we're thinking about keeping these things private, we need to think along the lines of self-preservation. The fact of the matter is, what God has for you, it's for you. So just because you don't share something with someone doesn't mean you are the center of the universe and this whatever it is that they're meant to have won't reach them. So, every message is not meant to be delivered by you, and you aren't necessarily gatekeeping in aspect of personal finance should you choose to keep things to yourself. And there's a difference between sharing things that are broad information versus truly disclosing intimate details of your life. So, that is a fine line to toe. And I know, like, in society, they're always talking about, being open and transparency and not gatekeep and don't be a hater, blah, blah, blah. But intimate details with your own finances, that's your right as an adult to have some level of secrecy. Like, you wouldn't ask someone, share your social security number with everyone. You wouldn't let someone know what your exact income was. So, don't get caught up in all those different myths and things of that. In this particular realm, keeping these 7 particular things private is just a matter of self-preservation. Okay, so now that disclaimer's out the way, I'll go ahead and jump to the very first thing that we're keeping private money-wise in 2025, and that is our efforts to improve our finances. Making a big announcement to people, making what you're doing the topic of conversation just doesn't need to happen. Does not need to happen. And I think of this when it comes to like people that start like a fitness journey. You tell someone, oh, I'm going to start a fitness journey. I'm going to eat healthy. And sometimes it's the people closest to you that will be encouraging you to eat a little bit more, or encouraging you, inviting you out to eat like extra more than normal. And then like the one day you decide to have a cheat day, that same person is like, oh, I thought you were on a diet. So that's what I think of in terms of like starting a financial journey. Like just announcing it, you haven't done anything yet. It's kind of like get some results a little bit first, build your confidence in this area a little bit first, and then if you choose to let people know what you're doing, that's great. But when it's in its infancy, when you're more likely to quit, or, if you don't receive the encouragement that you want, the social pressure and stuff like that, you may possibly drop all efforts. No, if we are trying to, whatever we're trying to fix, until we're at a point where we are mentally, emotionally strong enough to withstand that criticism, we're not making any announcements about it. We're not making any announcements about it. And then another aspect of that as well, even if people are, well-intentioned, they may be likely to recommend shortcuts or scams and stuff like that. So, when it comes to managing your money, there's so many myths, and the education that's out there, it may not be applicable to you. And until you've really gotten that knowledge up for what's best for you and your unique situation, you don't want to fall prey to some get rich quick scheme or something like that. I see so many people just so quickly recommend bankruptcy. And should you go into some of these bankruptcy, they have them on TV and stuff like that, they'll have you filing bankruptcy over like $7,000. Something that is like complete chump change. So, just going back to the original point, we're keeping our efforts to improve our finances to ourselves, especially when they're first started, just because we don't want something that is so near and dear to our heart become the topic of conversation, become privy to, or just you becoming susceptible of something that's going to derail you opposed to putting you on the right path. Going along with that, because the next question is, if you decide to share that you're on this journey, it's like, so why, right? So then at that point, you got to disclose your financial dreams. And it needs to be kept close as well. For one, misery loves company. It's one thing if you're telling somebody, hey, I want a Tesla, I want to go buy a house on the rich side of town, and you're just saying it. But it's different if you're saying that and it's paired with knowledge that you are actually now making an effort to make it happen. It's like you're putting an instant target on your back. Because if you and someone else are starting out in the exact same place with the exact same resources, and 2 years pass, 5 years pass, and they're still in the same place, and you actually have gotten your financial house in order and achieved some of your financial dreams, that person isn't going to look at themselves and truly look in the mirror and be like, damn, I wasted 2 years. I wasted 5 years. No, you're just putting a target on your own back. And unfortunately, it may hinder some relationships just because people feel like, you guys aren't living the same lifestyle anymore. Meanwhile, in reality, they could do the exact same things that you did, but they just don't want to do the work. So in terms of our financial dreams, we're keeping them to ourselves. Also, depending on how spiritual you are, you don't want anybody praying against you, putting anything in the universe, throwing you some spiritual attacks or anything like that. That's one thing. If people don't know what to attack, that's power within itself. Also, too, you could have someone that's making it seem like they're rooting for you, but in reality, they're the ones that's throwing the curveballs your way. They're the ones that's trying to, hinder you from the inside. So financial dreams, that's the number 2 point. We're keeping it to ourselves in 2025. That they can celebrate with you after it's been achieved. Also, our specific financial strategies. And this can be touchy because the financial space can be so judgy. I mean, like, you have the snowball debt payment method, you have the avalanche debt payment method, and which one is best, which one works for you. In any step in the right direction that isn't illegal is better than no step at all. So once you get to talking about specific strategies, and I feel like sometimes it's just who's right, blah blah blah, or someone wanting to kind of control things in your life. Who cares? Oh, I could never shop at Aldi's. Aldi's isn't for me. Oh, you aren't giving your kid a birthday party. Oh, I'm always going to celebrate my kid's birthday party. You will be surprised as you mention different strategies. How many people just can't respect boundaries and say, that's not something that I could see myself doing with my budget, my lifestyle, and the time that I have. But if it works for you, go ahead, girl. No, people will just attempt to judge, attempt to open the floor for some kind of debate on the best way this or the timeline that. No, we're not discussing specific strategies that we are using to get our financial house in order. if you've done the research on it, and if it's in your heart to do it, follow your gut, stick to it, and just execute. Let's not put it on the chopping block for someone to possibly talk you out of it, or for someone to kind of get in your psyche, and for you not to do that and do it with confidence. Another thing that we are keeping private in 2025 in terms of our money is our financial achievements. And this one, this one is kind of tricky because you've sacrificed, you have, you want to share it with someone, you want to, just kind of have that celebration moment, or you have that pat on the back moment, but you got to learn how to pat your own self on the back. Because in you disclosing your financial achievements, you're giving someone additional personal information about your income, about an area of weakness for you. If you tell someone, oh, I paid off 2 credit cards, I managed to pay off $3,000 in credit card debt in 2 months. One, this person may not have even known that you had credit cards, or that you had credit card debts, or that they are now aware that you're freeing up money, and should they need to borrow something, guess who has it available? And it may not, again, be ill-willed, but people tend to use the people that are around them as resources when life gets challenging for them. So, life happens to someone, they may need to borrow something. They, you're one of the first people that comes to mind now, because you've kind of let it be known that either you are good with money or you are becoming good with money. Or if they can surmise, because here's another thing. A lot of times when you are giving different bits of financial intimate details about yourself, you're giving people pieces to a puzzle. So you may mention in January that, you got a $10,000 pay bump. Then come April, you may mention that you paid off all your credit card debt. Then you may mention, and you're not thinking of this stuff because all this time is going by and it's almost irrelevant to you. And then, you can mention something else. Meanwhile, you don't even realize this person is collecting financial data on you. And when things get challenging for you, they've got a pretty good, they've surmised a pretty good picture of where your financials are. So if you want to share your financial achievements, find some communities online or something like that. Maybe express it in the most vaguest way possible. But as you do that, you are positioning yourself to slowly become the person in this individual or individuals. You're becoming the person in their lives that is good with money. And with that title, with that crown, comes responsibility or expectations that you may or may not want. And I'm also talking about family dynamics, because it's a difference if you've got, a friend that you only speak to twice a year saying this, versus if you have an immediate parent that doesn't have a retirement plan and you're saying this to them, so just be mindful that. Also, too, something that I want to drop in your psyche is that people will play and have fun with their money and then try to be responsible with yours. So as you are being responsible with your money and reaching your financial achievements, milestones, benchmarks, whatever you want to call it, you could be unknowingly positioning yourself to be someone else's plan B, backup plan, or something like that. I'll go ahead and just leave that. I don't want to beat that one too much with a dead horse. But yeah, keep your financial achievements to yourself, especially if you have a problem with saying no. Something else that we want to keep to ourselves money-wise is if we're searching for jobs. I know a lot of people are, you have these work besties and stuff like that, and you feel like this is the one person on the job that you can confide in. Please understand, there are no friends on these jobs. There are no friends on these jobs. So if you're actively looking for maybe you're looking for a second job. It could be a situation. It doesn't even have to be a situation where you're looking to leave something. It could just be a situation where you're looking for a second job. That critical information, should it get back to management or other people, who knows how that could affect you. So any efforts that we're trying to possibly leave our current situation behind, we don't want to tell anyone. We do not want that information to get back. It's not anybody's business. You can tell them of your job searching efforts after you have gotten your official offer and you're getting ready to leave. Go ahead and take some time and research quiet quitting. It is a thing. It's literally a thing. It's, if you get an argument with someone or something goes, you have a bad day at the job, don't abruptly remove all of your items off your desk or something like that. Slowly remove the items. When it's time for you to make your exit, let it be in a situation where by the time they found out, it's already done. Should they be aware, and I don't wish this on anyone, but I have seen in situations where once they become aware of the fact that you're looking for your out, the people at that job will start giving you hell simply because they know you've already got one foot out the door. So just don't even do it. We're keeping all job searching efforts, recruitment. If you're attending a job fair, you might want to tell one of your coworkers so that they can attend the job fair with you. No, just go ahead, call in sick, and no one needs to know that you attended the job fair on your day off. So that's that. And then lastly is financial allies. So this one, a lot of people don't even realize that they have financial allies. But the fact of the matter is, if you have someone in your life, siblings, friend, a mate, partner, that can bail you out, that you can borrow money from, that just will help you when you get in a financial hiccup, that is an asset. And not only is that an asset, but it's something to be guarded and to be protected. Should you achieve some significant goal, the last thing you want is for someone to throw up in your face, oh, if I had parents that helped me out, I could own a home too. Like, what? Just because they gave me money doesn't mean that there weren't some kind of strings attached, or I'm not dealing with them and their level of control and involvement in my life. I still have to do some things, to show them that, I would repay them or show them that I was serious, whatever it is. But people won't look at it like that. So, if once people realize that you have a financial ally or someone that has your back, it's almost like everything that you do. I'm like, well, if I lived at home with my parents too, I could do blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's not for people to know. And then especially if it's a situation where we're talking about someone that's your man or a platonic friendship or something like that, you may have someone that may try to cause a rift between you and this person, or may try to, take your man for themselves because, they see everything that he's doing for you, and that's something that they would like in their lives. So whomever our financial allies are, we're holding that close in 2025. Financial windfall, financial windfall, financial windfall. If anybody wants a financial windfall in 2025, type it 3 times in the comment section. It is our last thing that we're keeping private, money edition. Why? Because honestly, I feel like this is something that you should do regardless. 2025, 2024, 2026, and beyond, it should just be done regardless. Have you seen when people get financial windfalls and they go and spend the money that is rightfully theirs, that they're entitled to spend, and people then get judgy for them spending their own money? I have literally seen where people have gotten inheritance and, they may go buy themselves a new car. They may do some repairs that were long overdue on their home or something like that. And people are sitting around speculating and gossiping about them spending their money. It's their money. What's the purpose of a financial windfall if you're just going to let it sit there in the bank and not improve your quality of life? And then you have people that are watching you so-called burn through your money. And it's like, okay, that money is meant to be spent. And as an adult, if I choose to use it responsibly, if I don't choose to use it responsibly, that's on me. Me and my name alone comes in on the bills that I'm responsible for every month. In addition to that, you could disclose to someone that you got a financial windfall, and then they feel like because of their relationship with you or how close they were to you, they feel like they're entitled to their cut. So you can't even truly enjoy your money because someone has an attitude because they feel like they're entitled to your, just out of affiliation, they're entitled to some of your money. And it's like, oh, well, I helped you, and will throw stuff back in your face, will truly feel like this is a tit for tat. And it's like, hey, I don't remember entering in a contractual agreement with you for this friendship or for this relationship where whenever I got some money, you were entitled to it. And then who's to say this other individual, and we're not talking about spouses or romantic partners or anything like that. We definitely don't want to be, out here deceiving the people that we're supposed to be in love with. But, yeah, it's just like, okay, so every single time you've gotten financial windfalls, did you tell me in all honesty? Yeah, we're keeping it close. We're keeping it close. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just close out this video. Until next time, continue to educate yourselves, ladies. Be financially savvy, be happy, and live life. Thanks for tuning in.